Hello everybody, it's Mr. Mulvihill here. I hope you guys are doing well. Miss you guys. So here we go. We got this video here. This video is going to be very important. It's going to talk about things you're going to have to know for your final exam for math. We've done the math before, but we haven't done the technology that goes with it. So I'm going to show you guys how to put a scatter plot on a Word document. If you remember, a scatter plot was like a bunch of dots we put on a graph, and we drew that line as best we could to make that line a best fit. We're going to do that, and the computer is going to help us out today. Okay? So follow along, and we'll see what we can do. Okay, so the first thing you guys are going to do is you're going to go to Google, right? And then you're going to click on this button here, and you're going to go to Google Sheets. Okay? Once you're at Google Sheets, you're going to press blank. And then we're at like our sheets. It's kind of like Excel if you've ever used that before. This is just kind of our practice scatter plot. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in some data. And the data that I'm going to use is my age and my height. And that's what you guys are going to use on your assignment 19. Don't use my numbers because my height isn't the same as your height. But you can use your own height and your own age. And we'll go like that. So when I was 0, when I was just born, I was about, and we're going to do this in inches, I was about 20 inches. When I was 5, and you guys are going to do when you're 5 too, when you guys were 5, I was probably maybe 3 feet, maybe a little more than 3 feet. So it might be helpful to have this conversion chart up here. Remember, 1 foot is 12 inches, 2 feet is 24 inches, 3 feet is 36 inches. We're just going to do this in inches. So I'm going to say like 38 inches. You guys will probably have a different number. All right, think back to when you were 10. I'm going to think back to when I was 10. I was probably maybe 4 foot 9, 4 feet 9 inches. So if I go back to my conversion chart, 4 feet I see is 48 inches. So if I was 4 feet 9 inches, to figure out how many inches that would be in total, it's 4 times 12 because there's 12 inches in a foot, and that equals 48. But then I was 4 feet 9 inches, so those 9 more inches. So add on 9, and you get 57. All right, so that's 57. And then when I was 13, when I was 13, I was probably like 5 foot, and 5 foot is 60 inches. All right. So we're going to put this information in a scatter plot. What we're going to do, this is the new part, we are going to highlight all that information. We're going to press Insert. We're going to press Chart. Okay, there it is. And we're going to click, so it's line chart, but we're going to do scatter plot. So we're going to scroll down until we find scatter plot. We're going to click that. So I would be, like pausing the video, doing this along, because your first question in this assignment is you making your own scatter plot. Now you are going to just do a couple of things here. Customize, then you're going to go to Series, and you're going to press Trend Line. Trend Line is just a code word for line of best fit. What does it look like it's happening here? So it gives me that line of best fit. I'm also going to put an equation on it. So there's the equation right here. And then we're good to go. That's it. And so now I'm going to go back to my assignment. I'm going to go right here. This is question number 1. It says, import your scatter plot by clicking Insert, then Chart, then from Sheets. Select the file you just made as outlined in the math video, which is this. So you guys made your own sheets. So The only thing that's different is going to be your numbers here. So you are going to go follow the directions, insert chart from sheets. Then we're going to do the one we just made, which is practice scatter plot select. Click it. And there we go. You can maybe make it smaller, whatever you got to do. But there it is. And then for question 2, it says, what is the equation of your line of best fit? Well, that's right up there. And that is y equals 3.21x plus 21.3. This is back to that linear equation stuff where we write equations. Alright, you guys are going to be doing questions 3, 4, and 5. I do want to just practice one more thing with you guys. This is notes practice only. Alright, so it says the cost of a pizza, y, depending on how many toppings you get, x, at Domino's, is shown below. This is the pizza questions, the linear equations, rate of change, initial value, ROC, IV, and all that stuff. So let's do a little recap here. How much does Domino's Pizza start at with no toppings? What's the price that Domino's starts at with 0 toppings? That'd be right there. That would be $9.20. What is the initial value? Remember, the initial value is just what you start with. Initial, start. So what does it start at? It starts at $9.20. We just figured that out. What is the rate of change? What does it represent in this scenario? The rate of change is like the unit rate. So how do we find the rate of change from a table? You guys have probably heard that question asked to you hundreds of times this year. Now it has been a little bit, so I'm going to remind you. You're going to find your change in y, which is right here. So from 10.20 to 9.20, that's a change in $1. And we're going to divide that by our change in x. So 0 to 2 is a change in 2. So if we do 1 divided by 2, that's going to equal 0.50. So we know that Domino's is charging 50 cents per topping. Alright? So now it says, number 4, write an equation that can be used to predict the cost of a pizza, y, if there are x toppings on it. So we're going to write an equation, a linear equation. And linear equations have a particular format. They're always y equals rate of change times x plus the initial value. So if we look here, we just did it. We know what our rate of change is. Our rate of change is 50 cents times x plus the initial value, which is 9.20. Alright. Again, we just found that in questions 1 and 4. Excuse me, 2 and 3. Alright, last one here. Use your equation to predict the cost of a pizza with 5 toppings. We can do y equals 0.50x plus 9.20. Why did I write that? Well, it says use your equation. So let's use this. Then it says 5 toppings. So 5 toppings, that's your x. So I'm going to plug 5 in for x right there. So that's going to be y equals 0.50 times 5 plus 9.20. And if I type that all into my calculator right here, I'm using an imaginary calculator. Guilty. Oh boy. 1170. There you go. Alright, I hope that makes sense. Geez, looks like it is hard to do math on a Google Doc, so props to you guys for doing that. You guys can do your assignments on paper, but we are at the end of our assignments, so at this point, whatever works. So again, rewatch that video. This graph is important, and have a great rest of your day. Let me know if you need any help. Bye-bye.